What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of the 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best gaming related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here tonight. We have a ton of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. The first question I wanted to talk about tonight, guys, is about Call of Duty. And the consistency of games that we've been having within the Call of Duty scene, that being a new COD every single year. And the question I want to propose in this segment of the show is, should Call of Duty take a year break? So let's talk about it. So guys, if you ask me, as far as Call of Duty is concerned, there is no sign, at least at this point, that they are going to be stopping anytime soon to the formula that has worked for so many years now, that being a new game every single year. They have 3 different development teams, that being Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer Games, and of course Treyarch, all making different games. And doing a 3-year cycle between, of course, all 3 of them. Now, recently, of course, you had Sledgehammer move into that of Treyarch to work on the Call of Duty Black Ops 5 title. Sledgehammer is going to be doing the campaign, whereas Treyarch is going to be doing the multiplayer experience. And then apparently Sledgehammer is going to be doing their own project in 2021, apparently. Something along those lines. It's hard to say. There's kind of been some leaks. The Gaming Revolution has had some leaks, and so there's been a lot of question marks there. Now, Call of Duty, I've said this and I've been on record saying this, guys, that I feel Call of Duty, what they very well might be doing at this very moment is taking some time to look at just the overall scope of what they're thinking, and instead of pumping out games every single year, what they can maybe do is, say, take the Call of Duty Modern Warfare reboot and what's been said to be a Black Ops reboot, and each year they kind of update things between those 2 titles. So they're adding new things, whether that be, more... who knows, more expansions and things of that nature instead of making completely new games. So that was something I kind of had a feeling about, because once we saw the Modern Warfare reboot, I thought to myself, maybe they're going to reboot Black Ops. And it looks like that's going to be the case moving, into later this year. We'll find out for sure as far as confirmation goes, if the Black Ops franchise is also being rebooted. If the leaks are to be correct, though, and to be true from the Gaming Revolution, that Sledgehammer Games is going to be having their own title in 2021, my question would be, well, what is that they're working on? So if we're getting a Black Ops 5 this year, or a Black Ops soft reboot this year, and then next year Sledgehammer Games has a new title, maybe it's Advanced Warfare 2, maybe it's something completely new, right? Like maybe they're going back to like World War II style, as far as that is concerned. But it's hard to say what Sledgehammer's working on. Obviously, they're not just going to be going back and forth between Modern Warfare and Black Ops if Sledgehammer Games is working on another title. So that is something that's really interesting to kind of think about. Another thing that we have to take into consideration is the ultimate question here, that being, should Call of Duty take a year break instead of going, making games every year? This is kind of a yes and no answer, in my opinion, guys, because you can kind of look at it from multiple angles. You can look at it from multiple sides here. So what part of me says, yeah, sure, you should take a break, so you can kind of take some time and maybe merge all the development teams together to make one incredible Call of Duty game, and then they do that every 5 years or something. Then on the other side, I'm thinking to myself, well, why would they kind of change the formula up from what's worked for so long, that being a new Call of Duty every single year? I just personally can't see them doing that. It's too much of a money-making machine, and Activision, if they were to say, hey, we're taking a break from the yearly Call of Duty title, that would freak out investors, because obviously Activision Blizzard is a publicly traded company, and they're so reliant on Call of Duty doing well every single year. So, with that being said, I don't think that Call of Duty, the more that I'm hearing rumors and all of that, the more I'm hearing about there being other Call of Duties past that of 2020 with Black Ops, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm probably wrong when I say that they're just going to go back and forth between the soft reboots of Modern Warfare and Black Ops, and they're just going to kind of go back and forth between those, adding things to them consistently, whether that be with Blackout or Warzone, consistently adding, more campaign or more DLCs and things of that nature. It doesn't look like that might be something that they're going to do, and they're just going to keep on making Modern Warfare games, keep making Black Ops games, keep making maybe even some of the futuristic stuff as well. That's what it kind of is. All signs are pointing to that. So, what does that mean for, the right here and right now? Call of Duty, guys, is on the top. It's topping the charts as far as viewership is concerned on Twitch and other platforms, because of Call of Duty Warzone. Warzone is it's a great, refreshing battle royale experience, and Call of Duty is proving once again that they are on top of the gaming world pretty much. Whether they are the top when it comes to viewership or the top when it comes to sales charts, they're always on top, and that's just kind of pretty much just a fact at this point. So I think, guys, Call of Duty should take a break, because I think that they could really come up with something special. Even though it is awesome having a new Call of Duty every year, it kind of keeps Call of Duty pretty fresh. You got something new every year to look at and play and watch from an esports perspective. So maybe it's not such a bad thing to get a new Call of Duty every year. And we'll kind of look at the history of Call of Duty, from 10, 20 years from now, we're going to say, wow, like, they achieved something great. And I think that Activision has really achieved something special with the period of time that they've made Call of Duties every single year. But I want to pass this question on to all of you guys. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that Call of Duty should take a year break and kind of really come together as developers and try to make something really special? What do you guys think about that? Would you guys be open to like taking a break and just getting updates on Modern Warfare and the new Black Ops game and other games that, who knows if they're going to be making other ones, but let's just say for the sake of argument, Modern Warfare reboot as well as the Black Ops reboot, if they just kind of went back and forth between those, would you guys want to see something like that? Let me know in the comment section below. And for more Call of Duty content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. So another one of my most anticipated games of this year is Halo Infinite, a franchise and a game that I believe many of us are it's very anticipated, and some people actually don't have very high expectations for this game because of the downturn that this series took with Halo 5 Guardians. However, I think, guys, people are going to give Halo Infinite a real shot. And there's a belief, I think, to many Halo fans that this is the true continuation of this franchise. My belief, guys, is that the Halo comeback, and I think it's going to be a comeback, will be much greater than the fall of Halo, which I believe happened most likely with Halo 5 Guardians. Even though, for me personally, guys, I actually thought Halo 5 Guardians was fine overall. I liked the multiplayer, and the campaign obviously wasn't that great. It was kind of a step down from the other installments of the franchise, but I thought Halo 5 was pretty good overall. I mean, it had a lot of the things that I enjoyed about Halo, and I didn't really see a lot of the backlash that some people had. But regardless of what I think about it, the facts are the facts, and Halo 5 was pretty much the dark age of Halo at this point. And you can maybe say like Halo ODST or some of the other, Halo games, even like Halo 4 was maybe kind of that part where we started going to this dark age of Halo between Halo 4, Halo ODST, and then into Halo 5. It's hard to say. All in all, I'm very excited about Infinite. I think it's going to be great. I think that this comeback is going to be greater than the fall of Halo. I think it's going to be. Now, here's my only question mark, big question mark on Halo Infinite. When I say the comeback, I think it's going to be a massive comeback. I think it's going to be great on all fronts. I'm talking the story. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be semi-open world, similar to Gears 5. I think it's going to be, more focused, obviously, on Master Chief, which is what everybody wants. I just hope that the story's great. But not only do I want to see, those things, but I also want to see, a really established multiplayer scene, which is what 343 Industries is stating. They are stating that this is going to be a game that is very centered around multiplayer as well. And included in that, of course, is like Forge modes and lastly, esports, which I think is really important that Halo needs to exist within the esports ecosystem. I mean, that's just without question. I found this kind of interesting, though, guys, that on Wikipedia, I was reading a little bit about Halo Infinite, and I noticed one of the last sentences of just the overall synopsis of the game, not necessarily the synopsis, but just kind of a general overview of the game. It says that the game is set to be released in late 2020 as the 6th main entry of the Halo series. It continues the story of the Master Chief as the 3rd chapter of the Reclaimer saga, following Halo 5 Guardians, and will also be the 6th and presumably the final game in the franchise with Master Chief as the protagonist. So, here's what we really got to talk about, is that last segment. The 6th and presumably the final game in the franchise with Master Chief. So they're not saying that it's the last game, the last Halo game we would ever play, but presumably the last game with Master Chief as the protagonist. So, there's a couple of scenarios here. Let's kind of break this down. The thing about it is that Master Chief is the face of Halo, right? He's the face of it. Now, are they going in a direction with Halo like they did with Gears of War, where you play Marcus Phoenix in the first 3 Gears of War games, then you get to Gears 4 and you play as JD Phoenix, his son, but Marcus is still in it. And then, of course, in Gears 5, you play as Kate Diaz, kind of a step away from JD. So you're kind of switching different characters once again. Is that what they're going to do here with Halo Infinite? Is Master Chief going to pass the torch to someone else? Say, here, it's now your franchise, and now it's your turn to, hoist the Halo community, essentially, and move us forward. I think Halo is going to propose, that Master Chief is, dies in this one, that he lives for, he's just going to live on, obviously, in our hearts, or he's going to become a side character in the future, which Halo 5, obviously, that just didn't go over very well, but we'll see moving forward. What this tells me, we're presuming here, right? This is not something that's been fully confirmed, guys, but I wanted to talk about this because I think that the comeback is going to be greater than the downfall of Halo, but with Master Chief not being the main protagonist, not being the main character that you play as, and the reins go to someone else, there's a huge risk with that because they've already tried that and it didn't work. What are they going to do with this one? And so I think, guys, that it's something that we really got to talk about and something that we have to be very aware of, obviously, because if they're going to move on from Master Chief, I don't know if it's going to be as smooth of a transition as it was in Gears of War. Halo's a little bit of a different beast, and in Gears of War, it took us a little while to get used to it, but once we got used to it, it was like, oh, okay, this is fine. But with Halo, I just don't know. Moving on from Master Chief, especially after Infinite, I feel like if 343 kind of makes Infinite, it's awesome. People love it. And they don't give us any indication that Master Chief is no longer going to be the protagonist. They kind of tell us they give us the indication like it looks like he is going to be the main, protagonist moving forward in the franchise. And then after a couple more games, after they kind of like really get everyone's trust back and everyone really loves, the Halo franchise again on the next generation consoles, that being like the Xbox Series X. Obviously, it's not coming on PlayStation, but on the Xbox Series X and Xbox One, and then of course Microsoft Windows, then you can kind of start incorporating other characters, and then maybe one of them hoists the torch or takes that from Master Chief. That's just kind of my opinion on it, guys. I don't think they should do it this soon with Infinite. I just don't think it would be a good idea. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're not going to do that. This is kind of, we're presuming here, right? But I saw that and I thought to myself, it's definitely something I want to talk about. But I do think that the Halo Infinite, I think that this comeback is going to be much greater than the downfall of Halo. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. And for more Halo Infinite content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Call of Duty Warzone has absolutely taken the entire gaming community by storm in a way in which I did not expect, and I think a lot of other people didn't expect either. This is a battle royale game mode in which Call of Duty is at the top of Twitch and has been for quite some time now. And sure, there's been other games that have kind of, overtaken it at periods of time, but so many people are playing Call of Duty Warzone. This is the first, I think, true first-person shooter battle royale that people really feel like this is the first like title that's going to sit at the throne with games like, Fortnite and even Apex. But even Apex has been dropping substantially. Even Fortnite's been dropping substantially. And this game, Call of Duty Warzone, is something special for a number of reasons. But the question that I want to propose to everyone is, would Call of Duty Warzone be able to start an esports league within this game mode? I think it's a real question, guys, because when we look at the landscape, the gaming landscape and the esports landscape, Call of Duty Warzone's really popular, but I think that what sets Warzone, apart from all the other BRs, is Gulag, which of course, guys, for those of you who aren't familiar with Warzone, when you die in the game, or while you're on the battlefield and on the map, you go into the Gulag, which is where you fight a 1v1 against someone else who's in there as well. And it's a 1v1 fight, and then if you win, you of course respawn back with your team, and it's kind of like that second chance that you get. And that's something that I think people are really enjoying because it adds more strategy to the game. It's just a really great option that you have. And I think people are really, really appreciating something different within BR. Now, would it be like a massive esport? It's hard to say. I mean, at this point, it's like, well, would Call of Duty Warzone be a bigger esport than the Call of Duty League is right now? Or could it be added to the Call of Duty League? I certainly think it could. I look at games like Fortnite, and there's always these questions about, RNG and how are we going to be able to make this an esport? And Apex kind of, there was talks with Apex Legends as well, even though Apex has, put together, obviously, a full circuit when it comes to their esports scene. Why couldn't Call of Duty Warzone do that? I feel like they could, and I think it could be huge. I think it could be a massive ordeal where a lot of these, pro players and just influencers want to get involved and play for their chance at winning a lot of money. And so do I think it could work? I actually do. I do. When you look at all these other games that are esports, you see Apex Legends is an esport, and that is, Apex can be really chaotic and kind of hard to follow. Call of Duty Warzone's a little bit easier, I would say, to be able to follow. And that being said, guys, I'm going to say yes. It kind of checks the boxes for me where I say to myself, yeah, it does. It makes sense. This is a game or game mode that definitely could over time become an esport and somewhat of an established one at that. Even though Battle Royales, I've said in the past that it's really hard to make them a esport because of RNG, but with Call of Duty Warzone, it just feels different. You're dropping down with a weapon in hand. So it's not like you have to go and mine and try to find a bunch of stuff like in Fortnite. You automatically have a weapon right from the get-go. So if someone else finds something and you can't, you still have a pistol that is going to be able to, you'll be able to defend yourself somewhat. So that kind of takes a little bit of the RNG out of it. Obviously, there's also, when we talk about like Apex, that's a game where a lot of it has to do with the different weapons, and it does in Warzone as well, but it just feels a little more balanced all the way around. I don't know if that's just me or if I'm just excited about talking about this game mode. This, and Call of Duty, of course, is one of my favorite games of all time. So obviously I'm passionate about it, but I really want to hear from all of you guys. What are your thoughts on Warzone? Do you guys think that Call of Duty Warzone could become an esports? And would it work? I think it would work. I think they could make it work. Let me know what you guys think. And for more content based around Call of Duty Warzone, stay here with Zero TV. The last segment of the show, guys, I wanted to talk and give a little bit of some props to a guy. And I wanted to talk about the first person to ever get to re-up 50 on Gears 5. I thought this was a pretty big deal, and it happened a while ago, but I wanted to talk about it with all of you guys because this is the first person in the world hitting re-up 50, which is a huge deal in the Gears of War community. And so world first re-up 50, this is WolfPup87. It's been a wild ride. I love Gears 5. I love Horde 4.0. GD to the Coalition, thank you for another great Gears of War experience. By the way, clean up the toxic trolls in the forum. I try to spread some positivity and faith in you there. Got suspended for arguing with them. Anyways, I will say this, guys. I want to take this time not only to say congratulations on getting to re-up 50. That is crazy. I know I read some of the comments and on this tweet in the thread, and a lot of people were asking how WolfPup did it. And for those of you who are really trying to get to re-up 50, you have a goal in mind of trying to get up to re-up 50. I think one of the biggest ways that you can do this is by playing a lot of Horde mode. And that was kind of his way of doing it was through Horde mode. It was also through like escape mode. He actually just played the game just a lot all the way around. But obviously, going for a lot of, playing a sheer amount of hours, obviously, between the escape mode, Horde mode, and then versus mode. But it seemed like really Horde mode was the main thing that really he was able to kind of latch onto that truly helped him make it. So congratulations for that, man. I mean, it's absolutely huge props to WolfPup87 for making it to re-up 50. Even though I'm a little bit late to this, I definitely wanted to say that. But the second part I wanted to talk about, guys, was just where he says that, clean up the toxic trolls. I mean, look, there's so much toxicity still going on in the Gears of War community. It is ridiculous. It's starting to bother. It's been bothering me significantly, but I know a lot of people in the Gears community are also kind of getting fed up with hearing so much negativity around the game. And it's really unfortunate, guys, because I think that a lot of it is unjust. Some of it, obviously, any game's going to have some problems, but the amount of backlash and hate that the Coalition have been getting over this, I mean, if you guys don't want another Gears of War game ever, you're probably doing the exact things right now for that to happen, where it's just something that's not going to happen. We're going to end up not having another Gears of War title because Microsoft and the Coalition are probably going to be looking at this thing saying, they are just totally, I mean, not necessarily ungrateful, but they obviously don't care enough about the Gears of War franchise. They just, us as a community, just bash every little thing that the Coalition does. And I'm going to say this, guys. I feel like I'm not going to say all of it, obviously, but part of the reason why I think Rod Ferguson left the Coalition is because he might have felt that, hey, I'm going to go to Blizzard work on Diablo 4. This is a franchise that people have been waiting for, they're excited about, and we're going to give them something special with Diablo 4. And there's just so much toxicity in the Gears of War community. He might have also got paid more. I mean, that's obviously something that you got to think about. I still think that he loves Gears of War, but there's kind of red flags that are going up, in my opinion, with some of this stuff. So I think, guys, we really got to stop. Build each other up more than tearing each other down. Because what's going to happen is more and more people are just going to leave the Gears community, and then it's going to come down to, I mean, the Coalition are going to be left there kind of trying to figure out like what they really should do at this point, because everyone is kind of turning them and twisting them one way or another, and just having so much negativity that wears on you as a developer. It just does. It's been proven. So I hope, guys, that we as a community can come together, support your favorite streamers, support your favorite content creators, support the Coalition when they, and give them, criticism when they need it. But I mean, I just don't think that the toxicity, like the consistency of the toxicity, is necessary. It really isn't. We really need to come together more as a community, guys, to come up with solutions and stuff for, with Gears of War. In a community like Call of Duty, that's absolutely massive. You have some toxicity. The thing is that sure, like you can have that toxicity, but at the same time, the community's so big that lots of people don't even hear a lot of the criticisms and such. But with the community like Gears of War, that's more like a smaller community, when there's a bunch of people complaining, it's a lot easier to kind of point those people out. And so I just think that we got to be more, unified as a community and trying to tackle some of these issues that maybe the Gears of War still has, and Gears 5 in particular. Try to get it, tell the Coalition what it is we need, and we just continue moving forward from there. We try to get better and better as time goes. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys trying to get to re-up 50 and kind of follow in the footsteps of WolfPup87 as far as how he did it? That being like Horde, Escape, and even playing Versus as well. Let me know in the comment section below. And for more Gears 5 videos and content, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.